Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a review on a highlight palette that I recently acquired from abroad, overseas in Europe. So you probably already know from the title and the thumbnail which palette I'm going to be talking about today, but I'm going to be talking about the Sleek Makeup Solstice highlighting palette, and it's this right here. It has very reflective packaging, so I don't want to blind you. So originally it just came in a box like this. It's obviously by Sleek Makeup, that's the brand. It's their highlighting palette, and it's in the shade, or it's the Solstice one, so I think they have like one or two other ones, and this is the Solstice highlight palette. And then here is a close-up of the packaging. I don't want you guys to get blinded by the lights, but as you can see here, this is the packaging. It's mirrored, and the only downside to that is that it does get fingerprints on it, but I tried to wipe them off as best as I could. You can see the camera. Hey! It's really pretty packaging, and I do appreciate the fact that they tried to kind of make it look a little more high-end, but the only downside is, of course, the fingerprints. So on the back of the box, it basically just says, this versatile face and body highlighting palette suits all skin tones and includes 2 baked powders, 1 luxurious cream formula, and 1 silky shimmer powder. The iridescent metallic finishes add a radiant glow and add a luminous polish to the skin. It also gives you directions for use, and it kind of numbers all 4 shades and gives you tips on which color to apply where on the face. So it says you can apply color using the brush included or fingertips to the inner corners of the eyes, across the brow bone, and along the tops of the cheekbones. Apply with a powder brush to shoulders, down the center of the arms, and across the décolletage. So, and then like I said, it has steps 1 through 4, and it kind of lets you guys know which colors you should be applying where, or which colors are ideal for which part of the face. Wow, my lighting is messing up. I'm sorry. I look like a ghost. So throughout this video, guys, the lighting is going to shift. It's shifting right now as I'm speaking. I can see it happening, so I apologize. This is what the palette looks like on the inside, and what just fell out was the brush. It comes with this tiny little brush that I don't understand why companies include these in palettes. No one really uses them, and those who do want to use them can't use them because they're scratchy and they're not very useful in my opinion. They don't do such a good job, so I always chuck these out. If you're not going to be using the brush and you're going to throw it out like I did, you're going to have a really big hole here of wasted space in the palette. It's going to look a little random. So on the inside, it does come with a little insert that tells you the names of each of the shades, but also on the box, you do get the names of the shades as well. So I'm going to leave this in here, but you could easily just take it out. And you do get a really nice mirror. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to blind you, but basically the mirror is as big as all of this space here. So you get a really decently sized mirror. I just dropped this on the floor, and it didn't break, and the colors didn't break, so they're not soft in a sense like the Becca highlighters, where they're super soft so they shatter very easily. These are pretty packed in there. They're pretty stiff, so they should be shatterproof, at least if you just drop it on the floor. If you intentionally try and bash it, they're probably going to break. But if you accidentally drop it on the floor like I did, the packaging will survive and the shades will not crumble on you. So that's a plus, and I just tested it inadvertently. I didn't mean to drop it on the floor. So like I said on the box, it said that you get 1 cream and 2 baked powders and then 1 silky shimmer powder. So this is the cream, and this is called Ecliptic. That's the cream shade. Then we have, okay, how am I gonna do this? We have this like pinky purple shade, and that is called Hemisphere. So I should probably tell you what they suggest these for. They suggest Ecliptic, the cream, to lift the brows with a highlight. So they say to put Ecliptic, the cream product, on your brow bone. They say to put Hemisphere, which is this purpley pink color, to add shimmer to the cheekbones. They say to use this one right here, which is that shimmer powder. So this was the cream, Ecliptic was the cream, Hemisphere was one of the 2 baked powders. This one, Subsolar, is the silky shimmer powder, and it's kind of a yellowy, pale, gold, kind of white color. This one is suggested for down the bridge of the nose. And then the last shade is the second baked powder. And this baked powder is called Equinox, and it's to enhance lips. So you put this on your Cupid's bow if you're going to use their 4 steps and suggestions. So again, this is the cream. You have 2 baked powders over here, and then you have 1 shimmery powder. It's basically like a regular highlight type of deal. So those are all 4 colors. So one thing I do appreciate is that they give you a mixture of different finishes and different textures, different formulas, so you can really find what works for you on different areas of your face. You might find that you prefer the cream product on one part of your face, and you prefer the baked powders on another part of your face, and maybe just the shimmery, more traditional highlight formula. You'll find other uses for that one. So you can really pick and choose which ones work best for different highlighting purposes on your face, and from there, make your own highlight routine using this one palette, because they do offer you different options. It's not like other highlight palettes where it's usually just, it's the same formula except different shades. That one, if the formula doesn't work for you on your cheekbones because it adds too much texture to your face, it's not like you can switch between different shades. You're always going to get the same effect. So with this one, you have different shades to play around with, but you also have different formulas and different textures and different products, really, to see which ones work best for different parts of your face. And again, these can be used for the body as well. Now, they are a drier formula than I'm used to. I have been spoiled in a sense. I have been used to Becca highlights or the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow kits. So I have been used to very buttery, smooth, soft to the touch kind of highlighters. And that's not what you get with this palette. This palette's a little stiffer. It's a little, not rougher, but it's more densely packed in there. So it's a lot stiffer than the other highlights I've been used to. It's not this buttery smooth product where you just dip your brush in and you get fallout everywhere. Me saying that does not mean it's a bad thing. I think it actually works to your favor if you're someone who doesn't like too much highlight at once. If you want that control because you want to control how much glow you're going to have that day, this one's perfect because it gives you the control to put on as much as you want. So we're going to get into the swatches. This is the cream. Now I know, like I swatched it very heavily here, so I know it looks very intense, but it's going to be a lot more sheer on your face, so just keep that in mind. But this is the cream one. Then this is the pinky purple. Again, swatched heavily just to show you guys how intense it can be, but this obviously is not what you're going to get like with one swipe on your face. Just keep that in mind. So this is again the pinky purple one. This one right here is the shimmer powder. So the first one we did was the cream, the next one was one of the 2 baked powders, and this is just the shimmer powder, which is a more traditional highlight that we're used to, and it's a really pretty, like, it's in the pan a pale yellowish kind of white-based gold, but on the skin, on my skin tone at least, it translates very white and light. So it's not going to be a gold for someone with deeper skin. It's going to come off very white on someone who is, I would say, darker than porcelain. And this is the last shade, which is the champagne-y shade. Again, darker in the pan, but it comes off really light on my skin. And this is the second baked powder. It's a lot softer, I would say, than the first one, so that purpley shade is the roughest and I would say most sparkly color in the palette. The other 2 powders are a lot more of a luminosity and a glow. So from what I can see in the viewfinder, the swatches kind of look the same, so I hope they translate differently on an actual screen later when I'm editing. But for the most part, they all come off lighter than what they are on the skin. When you compare them to the pan. In the pan, they look a lot darker, and it kind of looks intimidating to have that purpley shade as a highlight if you're pale, or this kind of champagne-y, orangey shade. That one looks intimidating as well, but on the skin, they come off a lot lighter. So they really do, it does stay true to the claim that it is good for almost any skin tone. They say it is, to quote them directly, a versatile face and body highlighting palette that suits all skin tones. Okay, yeah, I would say it suits all skin tones. It just might be a little more flattering on some skin tones than others. I would say if you're lighter in skin tone, these are going to be perfect for you. But if you're darker, you're going to lose a lot of the bases in this purple shade and this champagne-y shade. It's just going to come off white on you. So it really just depends on what you're going for. Some people would like that, but if you're looking to get the true color and base in the two bake powders, it might not work if you're of darker skin. Even this shimmer powder, that one is going to look white on you if you're anything darker than me, because it looks very white on me already. So I would say it is more geared towards lighter skin tones, light to medium. Darker skin tones are going to have issues getting the true bases come out of these. They're just going to look like a white shimmer on their skin. So I would say light to medium, this is definitely a palette that you should consider. Anything darker, like I said, you're not going to get the true base of the highlight. You're just going to get the sheen. So as for my thoughts, I'm definitely happy that I own it, and I think the fact that it's drugstore is really good, because for a drugstore highlighting product, all the drugstore highlight products that I've swatched and tried they're not the greatest. This one can compete with other highlights, and I do like it, and I do think that it is worth the hype it got. However, when you swatch it, you might be a little underwhelmed, and you might be like, oh, this isn't anything special, especially that purpley shade, which was, I think, Hemisphere. That one, when you're going to swatch it and you're going to rub your finger in it, you're going to be like, wow, this is kind of rough. Like, what did I do? It was the first one I swatched, and I was very underwhelmed. And then I swatched the other ones, and I actually really liked them. And then on the face, even that purpley shade, Hemisphere, looks gorgeous on the face. I would say swatching these is not going to give you the full potential. You really have to use them on the face with a brush, and then you'll kind of see that they do really work well. So I do love these on the face. They don't swatch the greatest. So just keep that in mind. So I think that this is a very nice, well thought out palette. Sleek did a really good job with it, and obviously they did because it went viral. Everyone was going crazy over it. I'm late kind of getting into the Sleek Solstice palette hype. So it does get, you know, a positive review from me. The only bad thing I would say is it's a little rougher in texture, but most people don't really care because you're using your highlight products with brushes anyway, so you're not really going to be digging your fingers into it besides swatching. So I do like it, and I do think for the drugstore price, it is a good one, because for the price of a drugstore item, you're getting 4 highlights in one palette. So I think it's definitely a steal, and if you can get your hands on it, get it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys will consider the Sleek Solstice palette if you don't have it already, because I do think it's a good find. So if you guys haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It makes my day. It's free, and you get notified every time I post a new video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and please comment down below letting me know anything you thought about the palette, if you think it looks nice, if you own it and you use it regularly. Do you like it? Do you not like it? So yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying your day wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this video, day or night. I hope it is a great one, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video on Wednesday. I love you all. Bye.